Well, hello. I'm Joe Flanick, American Business Software. We're here to talk about increasing showroom efficiency through automation. Well, see, I'm not going to talk about the focus for this presentation. For simplicity, I'm going to divide the flooring and ceramic tile market into three segments. I'm going to call them low, medium, and high. I'll start by comparing them to restaurants. At the low end are the fast food places where you grab and go, where there is really no service. The medium would be a sit-down restaurant and at an affordable price. Examples of national chains would be like Olive Garden, Chili's, Texas Roadhouse. At the high end are the upper scale restaurants with excellent service and top-notch food like the Michelin star restaurants, Capitol Grill. To a great extent, you know what you're going to get, you know what you expect to pay. Now to compare with flooring and ceramic tile business. At the low end are the big box stores like the Home Depot and the Lowe's. Price is the primary motivator. This is not the focus of this presentation. Here's the group we're focusing on. Medium to high-end flooring stores with high-end specialty stores. These stores typically spend more time with the customer. For example, at the kitchen and bath centers, the customer is not only buying tile, but they might also be buying kitchen cabinets and countertops. I'm going to talk more about that information in the in-store experience more than the online. In this arena, service must be a component. In return for that, the price is possibly slightly higher. The consumer. The typical consumer has changed a lot in the last 25 years. Customers are far better educated and armed with far more information than ever before. Most of the people visiting your showroom most likely have already been doing research through online and possibly even considering buying online. A lot of that knowledge will probably come out in the conversations. Online shopping. There are a lot of companies selling online. Typically, the online shopping experience is considerably different than the in-store experience. Manufacturers have websites that display their products effectively. Some suppliers even display inventory online. I'll give you three examples: Florida Tile, Anatolia, Roca Tile USA. Some offer visualization software. The consumer can upload a picture and the website will show you what you've selected in their environment. Well, here's the term I'm going to use a lot, the Carvana approach. Everybody's heard of Carvana. It's a place where you buy a used car completely online. Let's face it, a lot of people don't really want to talk to a used car salesman. I got that. Online shopping is a sure way that people can buy something without the hassles of pushy salespeople. Of course, the negatives are that when you buy a car, most people typically test drive at least a few cars. You want to get the feel of the car before you buy it. In addition, Carvana doesn't sell new cars, so if you're looking for that, you won't find it at Carvana. The fact that this person is in your showroom tells you that most likely they're not 100% comfortable with buying online. At a minimum, they want to see the product in person. Initially, most people say that they don't want help when they walk into your showroom, but quite quickly, that may very well change. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later in this presentation. We're going to talk about now technology and the Carvana customer. Now that we're talking about technology, I want to start by saying let's not fight technology, use it to your advantage. Let's start with the basics. Let's just start with a website. It's virtually mandatory that you have a website. Even if you just list the products and some basics about your company, this is a must-have technology. You might even share a website with a manufacturer. I'm going to put the word share in parentheses. Remember that the typical consumer is doing research online. Once technology is out of the box, you can't undo it. You need to react to it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this other than just to mention that. E-commerce, now we're talking about the software that we do, and divide this into retail and wholesale. For companies that have a presence in wholesale, we have a product called COLA, Customer Online Access, for online ordering. This software applies, as I said, more to wholesale customers and people in the flooring and tile industry, such as contractors, architects, rather than end consumers. We have customers who receive more than a third of their orders through this COLA online ordering system. For the customer, it's a benefit. Your order desk is open 24/7. This automation can take a lot of the customer service issues also. It's not just about ordering, it's also about downloading price sheets and other information as well. For companies with a higher retail presence, we have a WordPress integration plugin. What this allows you to do is the order information is exchanged between our ERP system and the WordPress system. Regardless of the online ordering method, the customer never waits on hold with anyone. At the same time, you save labor costs. Everyone is looking to save labor. These are just two examples of what this automation can do. Builder customers. If you can serve as a showroom for a builder customer, it should help you attract those builders as customers. In terms of automation, we have tools that can print and price quotes for customers at the retail price while at the same time repricing it at the builder's cost. The software should be able to invoice the builder at their price while alternatively invoicing the customer at retail price. If it's invoiced at the consumer at retail price, the software should credit the builder with a difference between the cost and the retail price. Basically, the software should handle multiple prices for the same line item on the same order depending on how and who you're talking to. The ability to serve builders obviously increases your traffic. In addition, since the builder sent you, they're virtually guaranteed to be a customer. Exclusivity, I was able to say that word correctly. Wow, exclusivity and private label. Private label is about helping you prevent private price shopping. How unique are your products? Is it a unique import that no one else has? Is it a special color? Does it have a special strip that almost no one else has? Private label is probably not nearly as important because it's going to be hard for them to shop your product. Where you're located and your local competition also plays a part in this. Private label software can sell the same product with different descriptions, different prices, all from the same inventory. You could be selling on Amazon, you could be selling locally, and they all could be the same product, but they're sharing the same inventory. Since it's the same product with different names, the inventory control portion of our system anyway controls the inventory under one single SKU. You can certainly reconsider rebranding some of your products under different names to prevent shopping. You can even use the manufacturer's samples just to change something like the color name. Assuming we're doing private label, you want inventory control software that can handle this. Without this necessary automation, inventory control and warehouse management becomes a far more time-consuming and cumbersome process. System software. Off-the-shelf software really doesn't work effectively for this industry. If you stock flooring or ceramic tile, especially then, you need an inventory-specific software, industry-specific software. Off-the-shelf software like QuickBooks can handle inventory for products like ceramic tile. You need an industry-specific software. You need software that not only knows how to handle die lots, shades, and run numbers. At one point, especially if you stock inventory, you should focus on this area. I mentioned a few advantages on this slide. The ability to handle conversions between pieces, boxes, square foot, square meters, etc. And the second thing is die lot tracking, the ability to handle different die lots for the same product without creating separate SKUs. Customer service, I'm not going to talk long about this, but I know we talked about several elements of technology. Now we're going to just talk a little bit more about your staff. Not everything's about technology. A good portion is about your staff. Technology works in conjunction with your staff. Typically, the key is for your staff to determine how much time they need to spend with a potential customer. Quote tracking. Let's assume it's worthwhile to spend more time with this customer. You need quote tracking software and subsequent salesperson follow-up. You should have some automated way of creating a quote. And the software needs the tools and the salespeople need the tools. We believe helping salespeople create the quote in an expeditious manner is important. The ability to print and email the quote is also very important. Giving salespeople reminders for follow-ups is also important. A little outbound telemarketing goes a long way to increase sales, and this helps improve your bottom line. QR codes. I think everybody knows what a QR code is. An example of a QR code, the little squares. Most QR systems take you to the manufacturer's website. Our QR codes do not go to the manufacturer's website. They go to your ERP system. QR codes are inexpensive and powerful. The cost is about 1 penny each. They are printed on an ordinary laser printer, and there's no special equipment required. If the customer scans the QR code, you can provide whatever information you think is important. It's not the same information you get if you have a login. So let's say, for example, you give your salesperson a login. When they scan it, they can get completely different information. For example, you could show them pricing. You could show them inventory quantities. You could show them inventory availability. And again, based on login, you might also allow sales manager to see additional things, like displaying purchase orders, costs, sales, gross margin. It varies considerably based on the login. It's configurable. Again, only people with a login can see this information. The consumer can scan that product and it'll only display the information you want them to see. With today's frequent price changes, sometimes this is something that you might want to give to the customer, maybe you don't. A salesperson can perform all types of searches, so they have additional capabilities. Examples for the searches are search by color, search by inventory availability, and search by pricing. All these search criteria are really together as a group, similar to a Google search. For example, you could search inventory for white tile with greater than 20 square foot in stock, and that costs less than $10 per square foot. You should be able to create a quote and email by scanning the item and adding it to their basket. We have some QR codes. If you want to stop buying, I could show you some of the stuff in our booth. There are many ways to configure them, and the possibilities really are virtually endless. Okay, now talking about the consumer scanning that same QR code. You can give them a login if you wanted to. You could show them inventory if you wanted to. You want to give the person a reason to buy from you. You can arbitrarily give them a guest login. If the customer scans the QR code, and you get the information, you can give them the information such as the various colors, sizes, and shapes for that product. You can even include pricing if you want. Again, pricing is optional. Remember, it's just important. Scanning the QR codes does not go to the manufacturer's website. You're controlling what they see based on whether or not they have a login, and if so, what login. If the user has a login, you can track what they looked at. Basically, you can follow their online behavior. After all, that's what Google's doing to us. Use it to have your salesperson follow up with them. You can also allow them to scan QR codes and order from at home. Samples plus QR code equals one scan ordering from home. You can email them a link to pay with a credit card online. I'm just going to quickly cover this about lighting. The person's in your showroom. The advantages you have over online is that you can show them something. Many people don't seem to realize the big difference that lighting plays in the way that a product looks in different types of lighting. The bottom line is to allow the customer to take the sample home. Tell them to check out that selection with various lighting types. By giving them a sample, you now have the contact information with which to have salespeople do the follow-up. Our software offers those salesperson follow-up capabilities. Ensure you have those follow-up capabilities. Technology can help you save labor costs. You're competing locally with labor with other businesses. Everyone is looking to reduce costs. Some companies also like to make sure that they see technology in action. They want to look like the Apple Store. At a minimum, salespeople need instant access to pricing and product availability without constantly running to the terminal or at the counter. Pricing changes are also quite frequent these days. Use technology in conjunction with your people skills. Make it easier for the salesperson to sell. Give the consumer a reason to buy from you. We're American Business Software. We're over that way in booth C as in Charlie, 6108. We have a very short window for this presentation, but please stop by our booth. We can demonstrate a lot of software. If you're interested, we can also give you some QR codes and some samples to take back with you. Thank you so much for your time, and we have a few minutes left, so I'm going to see if we can go to questions. Any questions, anybody? No? No? Okay. All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.